Inheritance in a blended family. What does that mean? Well, if you are in a second marriage or a third marriage and you have children from a prior relationship and so does your spouse, you know what I mean by a blended family. Estate planning for a blended family is so important. Why is that? Well, if you don't have the right estate plan in place, what may happen is that your children are disinherited after your death, and it can be an unintentional disinheritance. Let me give you an example. Let's say you and your new spouse have wills in place, and let's say that they are what I call I love you wills. And what that means is that on the death of the first spouse, the surviving spouse gets everything. And even though when you prepared this estate plan, you all agreed that the assets would be divided on the second death equally among all your children. But now you're the first spouse to die. The surviving spouse has everything that was ever a part of your estate. And what happens when that spouse changes her mind, does an estate plan that gives everything to her kids? She has a right to do that. Your kids are disinherited. Or what if it's not that? What if instead of changing her will, she remarries, and as a result of remarrying, she does the same estate plan that the both of you had, which is the surviving spouse gets everything. So upon her death, which is before the next spouse, that next spouse, he gets everything. Well, you can bet your children, and likely hers, are not going to see any of the money that you worked so hard to accumulate over the years. You can make sure that never happens to your money and to your children. How? By having the right estate plan, one that has a will with trusts in it so that your spouse inherits her money into a trust and you direct where that money goes. You direct that when your spouse has died, it goes to your children, and that your spouse, the surviving spouse, can never redirect the money to anybody else. So if you want to make sure your kids do get something, make sure you see an estate planning attorney.